What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we have the 450 in the shop. This truck here, so far I've done a fuel transfer tank and a fifth wheel. What we're going to be doing to this truck today is I got this ranch hand. Let me throw on a couple more lights. There you go. From Portland Car Lover. This is his F-350 bumper. I don't know if it's even going to fit on this truck because of this extra little piece that comes out here, but I have a weird assumption that it will. And then after we get done with that, I got a new truck that's not going to be for sale that I want to show you guys. And it's a DCP, which is the cool thing. I posted one picture of it on my roadway diorama, hooked up to a lowboy with a Cat 950M on it on my story, but I have not posted this truck on social media at all. So if you didn't see my story or you don't follow my Instagram and you didn't, or even if you do and you didn't see my story, this will be your first time seeing this truck. So, all right, let's take a look at this. So this thing here, these bumpers are on pretty good. My assumption is this bumper probably pops right off just like the 350s do. So if you're unfamiliar with the 350 bumpers, I just so happen to have this 350 laying around here. So these bumpers, they just kind of pop in like that, and you just pop them off like so. See the little rivets there? And they just pop right out. And then essentially how this works is, so you have those holes there. Portland Car Lover puts those little tabs in there. So essentially what happens is when you take the bumper, you fit the holes into the tabs like that, and then you glue it in place and do it right. It sits on the truck like that. Or it sits a little crooked, but that's alright. Alright, let me put this together. Alright, so my assumption is, taking a look at the 350 versus the 450 bumper, they look exactly the same, except the 450's got this little bump out. So I don't even know if this is going to work or not. This is, again, just an assumption. So we'll pop that bumper off and we'll see what happens. Pretty sure it's going to pop off the same way. Put this back in the drawer. Alright, so let's see what we can get here. Yep, so it pops off exactly the same way. So just like that. So you can see, just as I just showed, let's see if that focuses, just as I just showed the 450, I mean a 350 bumper, 450 bumper pops off the same way. So that comes off like that. Now this should just, yep, the holes line right up, it looks like. And that should just pop in and look just like that. Looks like it lines up pretty good. Doesn't have any issues with the front fender flares. Like that. Alright, let's glue this thing in and we'll see what this thing looks like. Alright, and as you can see there, the bumper is mounted. So what I ended up having to do was, there was a lot of glue along the front of the cab where the bumper would match up. Dry glue, so I scraped all that off with the X-Acto knife, and then on that bumper where the little tabs were here go into the bumper holes, I just couldn't get them to push in really good. I didn't want to break the bumper, so I just cut them off, and then I just flush glued it right to it. But she's on there, and this thing looks sweet with that new bumper on there. It just makes the truck. I think personally it makes all the difference in the world in this truck. And I mean, most of the trucks that I have, newer trucks that I have had in my collection, have always had ranch hands on them. The dump truck's not getting one because it has a plow, but this one's got a ranch hand on it now. So I think it looks awesome. I'll have to take some pictures of that, send it over to Portland Car Lover, see what he thinks about that. Alright, so switching gears, let's get this put over here on the dial. This truck was sent to me for trade for my Denali welding truck and a K5 Blazer I had laying around. This truck is a truck that I had been eyeing for a while, and I ended up getting it, and I am in love with this truck. I have a very similar one to this, but this truck is exactly what I was looking for. So what this is this is a Peterbilt 379 day cab. This is a DCP truck. DCP stands for Die-Cast Promotions. This truck was originally, or DCP's originally was their own thing, and then First Gear bought them out. So this is, yeah, so this truck is, he's had in his collection for a while. We chatted about a couple trucks last year. Never made anything really of it, and then this year I told him I was looking for a DCP truck. He had 3 different ones to look at, and I decided to choose this one, being a day cab and having the full fenders. The other one that I have is a stretched one, and it's got the double fenders, each specific fender for the back wheels. That one's on lowered black wheels and heavy duty front end. This one's gonna stay this like this. So let's take a look at this. So here's the front of it here. It's a 379, but it's got the old school 359 round headlights on it. This is the same exact hood and grille that my other one has. This one's got the big chrome bumper with the running lights along the bottom, cab lights on top, chrome visor here, chrome air canisters, running lights along here. I love these chrome stacks that go straight up and then cut off at a 45. I prefer these better than any of the ones that are curved at the top. Peterbilt logo there. All black with red fenders, which looks sick. Fuel tank, you get dual fuel tanks, one either side. Your fifth wheel, it's adjustable. The back, you have your taillights. So this truck's an overall sweet truck. Now I wanted this truck specifically as a work truck. So it's a good looking work truck. So it's a day cab. It's not a sleeper, so you wouldn't do a lot of long haul trucking with it. A truck like this you might find for a construction site, you know, toting excavators and loaders and backhoes and skid steers and stuff around between job sites, maybe running a dump trailer, something of that nature. Definitely a truck you're going to be working, you know, 5 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock at night with, parking it, going home to your family every night. This truck under the hood packs a motor that I think it's a Cummins. Actually, it's a 79. It's a 379, so it's going to be the pre-emissions. So it's either a Cummins or it's going to be a 60 series Detroit. I'm not sure what this is. I know my other one's painted yellow. I know the other one's a cat. I think this might be a 60 series Detroit. I don't know. I'll have to ask a couple buddies that I know, see if they have any idea. Or if you know and you're watching the video, go ahead and drop a link. I mean, not a link. Drop a comment and let me know what you guys think this motor is. It looks orange, so that's probably Cummins. I don't know. I know Detroit's usually their motors are red or green, and I know Caterpillar's obviously the yellow, same yellow as the skid steer. So, yep. So that's this truck. The underside of these things are really detailed too, so you get the full motor drive shafts coming back. That little spring, or that little piece of wire there, that's actually for suspension. So this truck has a little bit of suspension rear. To drop these or to lower them, you pull that wire out and that gets rid of all that suspension travel. And then in the front, you pop the front out and you flip the steering components upside down, and what that does is that lowers it. These also steer, so that's as far turning left as you get, and that's as far turning right as you get. So it's got a decent decent amount of turning for being a model, and they click into place. You can kind of hear it. Which that's a first. I noticed that's a first gear thing. First gear does that a lot. So yeah, so let's take a look at it with a trailer. I have this gooseneck trailer here. It's a, I don't know if it's a, I think it's a DCP trailer. I don't know. So here's a trailer here. So let's see if we can zoom this out a bit. There we go. Alright, so let's take a look. So here she is set up with a the gooseneck trailer there. So it doesn't look, that looks pretty good. So that's the look I'm kind of looking for here. The only thing is I wish this had the flip down third axle that it used to have. And then let's stick a 950. That would definitely be a wide load. But there she is with a 950 on the back of her. So that's a good looking setup there. It looks really good. Even the one thing I do like about this trailer is you do have room for, if you really wanted to, add, I don't even know if this is something that a lot of people would do, but if you're running out to the job site and you want to take the skid steer as well, you have the ability to take the skid steer with you too. So that's one thing I like about this deck, is you can carry multiple pieces of equipment, or if you're running trucks, you can have a couple trucks on here too as well. Now this trailer does have a detachable neck on it. So I'll move this loader off to the side here. So this deck does detach, so that's cool. So if you're on a job site, you can pose the truck. Normally speaking, these would sit like this, but you can pose the truck, you know, you can pose on a diorama, something like this. You obviously have the truck further away, but you could pose it like that even, you know, driving the loader up onto the trailer or whatnot. So that's kind of cool with this trailer. One of the reasons why I wanted a gooseneck trailer, or wanted a truck to go with this gooseneck trailer, because my other one sets it up in my on my shelf upstairs in the house. Let me put this back together. Sits upstairs in the shelf in my house and is used for my display. So I didn't want to have that. There you go. I didn't want to have that truck sitting down here with this attached to it. Plus, because it's a double rear axle stretch, so I think the first axle starts like where this is, so it sits like this axle and this axle. I'll have to, in another video, I'll have to break it down. But because it's a stretch axle, or a stretch frame, it's double rear, it just looks really weird hooked up to this trailer. This truck definitely looks a lot better. The only thing I wish this truck had, which my other DCP has, is the actual lines, the brakes and airlines. This one doesn't seem to have it for whatever reason, but that's okay. I'm not gonna complain about it. All in all, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful truck. Exactly what I've been looking for, and it'll look really, really, really good on my diorama. Speaking of dioramas, here she is rolling through town, pulling the 950M. I want to get a couple more models to stage this with as well. Not always have the front loader on there. And I also want to get at some point a dump trailer, so I can pose this with a dump trailer too. Maybe show it off at some car shows and whatnot. I definitely got to clean the dust off of it, but yeah. So there she is, and there's the 550 or 450. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.